Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I will be showing you how to make a witch's hat Halloween wreath. Let's get started. For this project, we're going to need one of the witch's hat frames, one package of black zip ties, one package of black pipe cleaners, rotary cutter or scissors, either or will work. If you have a chance to pick up these silicone finger tip protectors from the craft section at the Dollar Tree, do so. We are working with mesh, you may need it. So, and then glue gun with glue sticks. Also, your choice of colors of the witch legs, your choice of colors with the mesh. I also picked up some tulle and ribbon just to give it added dimension, and that's your choice again, whatever colors you want to do, and some picks to see if I'm going to be using this or not, just depending how the design works out. Let's get started. First off, I'm going to be cutting all the mesh to 8 inches. By the way, I picked up this green mat at the Dollar Tree craft section as well, and it is precisely at 8 inches, which works out perfectly. It helps to weigh one end of the mesh out so you can cut the other end. So this is why I'm placing the scissors on that one end and going to be cutting it on the other end. Repeat the process until you have 2 of the rolls of the same color done so that you can make a nice full wreath. When you get to the end of a roll, make sure you keep this cardboard piece because we're going to need that in the future. Take out any staples carefully for safety reasons. Continue the process with all the mesh colors until you have a good amount of mesh cut for each color. Next, we're going to do the same with all the ribbon, and how much you cut really depends on how full you want the wreath to be. You can cut as much as you want, and if you need to cut more, you can always do more later. Now we're ready to prep our pipe cleaners for the next step for bundling all the tulle. What we want to do is take the pipe cleaners and fold it in half and snip the middle, and this way you have double as much of the pipe cleaners from one package to make the bundles. Now we're ready to make the bundles of mesh. So you want to think about the patterns. You want to think about what's going to deliver most interest to the eye. You want to alternate the colors, alternate the ribbons with the colors to make it all the more interesting. So we're going to take this raggedy end and roll it so that it's inside the roll and the neat end of the mesh is pointing outwards. That's what we're going to do. As you can see, the raggedy ends are staying inside the roll and the neat end is the one that you can see coming out. So here's an example of a bundle I'm going to make. I'm going to take a black mesh and do the same thing, roll it so that the neat end is pointing out and the raggedy end is inside the roll. Feel free to cut these random pieces sticking out to make it neater. And then we're going to squish the middle of the rolls, bring it together in our fingers, and then we're going to grab a piece of pipe cleaner and secure both of these pieces together tightly in the back. The tighter you pull, the neater it's going to be. The first bundle I made had the orange on the bottom and the black on the top. Now we're going to alternate the mesh so that the black is on the bottom and the orange is on the top. And here we have the 2 bundles, and you can see the effects of both of them together. Feel free to play around with the colors and the textures of ribbon to see what is going to be working out best for you. Here I am going to be ducktailing the ribbons, all of them, because I feel like it's going to add additional interest to the eye. To do this, you simply fold the ribbon in half, and going from one corner up at an angle to the middle, you want to cut the ribbon, and this is going to give you a ducktail effect. Here I'm playing around with the different textures and the ribbon to see which one I like best on top and which one I like best on the bottom. And I'm just going to do a sample bundle to see what it's going to look like. Here I have some of the examples of the bundles I've already made. On the left row, you can see the orange being on the bottom, the black on the top. The middle row, we have the orange on the top, black on the bottom. And then the final bundle, I chose to do the orange on the bottom, ribbon in the middle, and then the tulle on the top for added interest and texture of color. Also the green pulls from the leggings that I'm going to be using for the witch legs. And the green also has a hint in the ribbon too, so it kind of pulls it all together. Next, I'm going to take the black mesh and basically fold it in half, and I feel like this step works best when you have some of the mesh glued down so that you have basically 4 layers on the end that you're working with. And then I'm going to secure that onto the frame itself, and it works best when you have the frame pointing down, upside down, and you're folding the mesh as you go, because then the big frame is not getting in the way, the bottom of the frame is not getting in the way, and you have the pointed end that you are starting to work with anyway. And you're going to see the process in a second that I'm going to be securing this onto the frame, and then I'm going to be folding it as I go and wrapping it around the frame as I go. And this is just going to give you a lot of coverage because you're folding the mesh in half and you're wrapping it as you go around the frame. Here's what I have so far, and I have just a little bit more to go. When you come to the end of a roll as you're wrapping, it helps to zip tie the end to the wrapped mesh that you already have on the frame, securing it to the frame. You can start off the roll in the same manner, and you're not going to be seeing these zip ties in the end because it's going to be covered with the black mesh. Here I'm starting a new roll of mesh, and what you want to do is flip the frame to the back and start off the new roll at the back. And I'm going to be folding the mesh in half again, securing it with a zip tie, and then cutting off the zip tie and continuing the folding process and wrapping process as we go, and it's not even going to show the zip ties. This is how much I've wrapped so far, and the zip ties are somewhere in between here. You can't even tell that there are zip ties as long as you cut off the ends. I finished wrapping the frame. This took about 2 rolls of the black tulle. Make sure you finish off at the back and secure it at the back with the zip tie again. Look how nice it looks. It's got this sparkly effect up close, so it's super nice, and it gives you great coverage for the wreath. Now I'm going to start putting my bundles onto the wreath. It is best to figure out a pattern that you want to do and go with the pattern because it's going to give you a better visual effect. Grab your first bundle and secure it to the corner of the wreath. I have flipped the wreath over, and this is what it looks like in the back. You want to make sure you twist it on tight and tuck the twisted ends of the pipe cleaners towards the inside of the wreath so that you don't get any scratches on the door. Here's what it looks like after I have 3 of the bundles on the frame, and as you do your bundles, you want to make sure you slide it against each other so you can have more of a full effect and less of a negative space between the bundles. I have flipped over the frame, and I just want to show you after you twist it on tight, you want to make sure you push it against the other bundles, and then you tuck in the pipe cleaners so that it's not going to scratch the surface of anything that you're going to hang it on. This is what I have so far after 6 bundles. It's coming together so quickly, especially since the bundles are ready to go. And once you're done with everything, this is what it looks like, guys. This came out so beautiful, so quickly. I love the look of it. I love the color picks and everything, the patterns that came together. It is so gorgeous. You can actually just leave it as is, or if you choose to move on with it and do the legs, you can do that. The legs are going to be removable, so you can leave it on or take it off whenever you'd like. But let's get to that portion of the video, and it's gonna go by super quickly again. Alright guys, so the rolls that I asked not to throw away at the start of the video after we finish the mesh rolls is for this purpose, is because we're going to stuff it down the leggings, and then we're going to stuff it with cotton to give it a 3D effect. And at this point you want to make sure you bring out your decorations to see if you're going to go with it after we're done with the leggings. First step is we're going to cut the ring off with the tulle and keep the legging separate. Now that the leggings are separated from the ring, we're going to go ahead and roll it down and put in the cardboard roll in the first portion of the leggings, and then the top portion will be stuffed with cotton balls. Leave about a couple of inches from the top empty so that we can glue it down and then attach the pipe cleaners. Make sure you have a right foot and a left foot, and when you are gluing down the leggings, you glue it from the back. Attach the pipe cleaner to the legging with some glue and roll it as you go. Make sure you exercise caution so you do not burn yourself. This is going to give us a clean edge to the leggings. Attach the legs to the bottom of the wreath and make sure you twist it on tight. Alright guys, and here is the final product. I absolutely love how this came out. It is so adorable, whimsical, has total hocus pocus vibes going on. I love the addition of the legs. I love the green pops of color throughout the wreath. One color is not overpowering the other. They all work so wonderfully together. I really hope you guys try this at home and see how easy it is. I spent about $10 making this all in all, and I still didn't even end up using all the mesh or the decorations that I bought. So I really hope you guys give it a try. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you all so much for watching, and come back for more of my videos.